Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So the Texas Democratic Convention, which apparently happened, and I wouldn't have known that it actually did happen if it wasn't for Libs of TikTok posting this video of, yes, a drag queen deciding to push, sound like a broken down record at this point, but alas, that's what I've got to sound like if I want to get the message across, because these people love to push mutilation and butchery on the likes of young kids. So I'm going to continue as best I possibly can to fight against it. So this drag queen is speaking at the Texas Democratic Convention. Now, do you expect anything less or more of the Democratic Convention in Texas to host a drag queen who decides to say that we need to give kids puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and sex changes on minors? Well, that's exactly what this person was pushing for at the Democratic Convention. So as we know, the Democrats love to push this agenda on the likes of confused kids. They love to confuse kids. They love to abuse kids. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's give them irreversible blockers. Let's give them irreversible hormones, and let's give them irreversible surgery. Let's do all that sort of stuff, and let's bottle it up into one nice package and call it gender affirming care. Because there's one thing that we know that it's not care. So have a watch of this drag queen talk about the push that, she wants to do or he wants to do. I don't even know if it's a girl or a guy at this point. Usually drag queens are dudes pretending to be women, but I know some drag queens can be girls. So I don't know if it's a legit girl or man. I don't know. So have a watch.
Especially aches for our trans children. While the drag ban bill may have been blocked, the trans youth healthcare ban has gone into effect here in Texas, preventing access to hormone blockers that are medically necessary for more than just trans youth. Gender affirming care is life-saving. Access to healthcare is a basic human right. These policies disproportionately affect LGBTQIA+ youth and people of color. We have a duty to protect our most marginalized communities. Trans kids deserve to grow into healthy adults.
So this person, drag queen, I'll just say drag queen because I don't know if it's a he or a she. So apparently this person's heart especially aches for our trans children, which, by the way, don't exist. There's no such thing as a trans child. I'll have you know that is scientifically proven and accurate. But these people will try and convince you otherwise, right? They try and say that we must protect the trans kids. What trans kids exactly? No, you are just wanting to trans children. They're adults that just want to trans children, I'll have you know, which is outrageous. So, yes, this person's heart aches. You know what my heart does? My heart breaks and aches for the likes of confused kids all over the place that are being lied to by people like this. Because there will be kids that will see this. There will be adults that will watch this and go, yes, you are right. You are totally right to say that kids need to be on puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones because that's how they identify. And we need to give it all to them. Because if we don't, God forbid that my child feels a level of distress that you can actually help and fix with psychological interventions, not hormones or chemicals or whatever else. So as we know, Texas passed a bill blocking the likes of this gender affirming care nonsense, which is not care, as I've said many, many times. And they decided to make it illegal for young kids under the age of 18. I believe it should have gone to the age of 25 because your frontal lobe hasn't fully developed yet until you're 25. So making this lifelong irreversible decision, you need to fully consider that. Now, let me just say this. People have asked the question, well, we don't wait for kids to start driving until, they're 16, 18. So what is the difference between somebody that decides to make an irreversible, life-changing decision with their body versus someone that we are teaching to drive. But they're saying that you have more harm that could potentially come to you if you're driving versus making a life-altering decision. And my thing is this: driving is one thing, right? You have control of the car more than likely. On most times, you don't have control of the outside. You make the choice of how you decide to drive on the roads. When it comes down to your body, and I know people will say my body, my choice, and all that other garbage that comes along with it, right? You are saying that you want to destroy what has been given to you naturally because you have chosen to do that. So if you want to bring this logic into full circle, right? So if you get a car, if we teach young kids how to drive, are you saying that a young person can make the choice to have an accident if they want? You're saying that that is right for them to do? Because you're saying that it's right for a child that may feel confused. So if a child is on the road and that child wants to have an accident, they by all means go have it. So you're saying that if a child feels confused about their body and everything else like that, you're not going to intervene in a psychological manner? No, you're going to say that it's totally fine and totally acceptable for you to cut off your healthy breasts, which you can't get back. You can potentially survive a car accident, but you can't get your breasts back. It doesn't work, them trying to compare one thing to another. When you're a young kid growing up, you need to have a healthy childhood, one that's not abusive. It's not abusive to put a child and teach them how to drive. What is abusive is you telling a child that if they identify as something else, that's accurate. That's abusive. That's not telling them the truth. Now, if you say to a child that wants to drive, hey, this is risky, I'm going to teach you how to prevent having an accident, or I'm going to teach you how to better navigate the roads. I'm going to teach you how to become a better driver, a safer driver, or I'm going to purchase a car with a 5-star safety rating for you to prevent any serious accidents from occurring. I'm going to give you an advanced driving course. But they're not going to do any of that for a child that wants to have surgery, wants to go on puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. You can't reverse puberty blockers. Once it's done, it's done. Cross-sex hormones will do the damage of hormones that shouldn't even be part of your body. And this drag queen wants a child to have it, but yet they'll try and compare one major extreme with something that's not really that extreme. It doesn't make any sense. So stop trying to do it. When this person goes on and says that gender affirming care is life-saving, no, it's not. We don't have sufficient evidence or statistics at the moment to say that it is, in fact, life-saving. Because the rate of youth that are identifying as being part of the trans community, let's say, is alarming, because there cannot be trans youth. So this whole notion that we need to protect them, well, I agree, we need to protect the likes of young kids from the likes of these people that are trying to trans them. So this healthcare, I agree, is life-saving, but it's not the kind of healthcare that you're talking about. The kind of healthcare that I'm talking about is psychological intervention, not giving them hormones, none of that stuff. Let's give them things that are actually going to benefit them and actually going to make them healthy. They're going to allow their body to go through a natural process that are going to let their body develop at a healthy rate. Let's give them that. Oh, but no, I'm transphobic and I'm a bigot for saying such a thing. No, I'm people of color. Can't forget that. always got to lop it in, don't they? I agree. Kids deserve to grow into healthy adults. So why are you trying to trans them? They're not going to grow into healthy adults if you try and trans them as a kid. I'll have you know. Just speaking the truth, mate. And get this, the libs of TikTok found out that the drag queen who was featured as a speaker at the Texas Democratic Convention, who defended sex change surgeries and drag for kids, says, well, drag queen hates America. Shocker. Absolute shocker. Then leave if you have that perspective. And is anyone surprised? No, I'm not actually surprised. I kind of figured that that would be the case because, as we know, there's no utopia, unlike a democratic utopia where they try and get everything that they actually set out to achieving. If that includes butchery, mutilation, toppling over other people, forget about the poor, all that sort of stuff. But they're more than happy to virtue signal and say they hate the country, but they won't leave. No, can't do that. They can be immensely ungrateful, but they won't actually leave because where else are they going to go? That they're going to have the exact freedom to say all the nonsense that they're saying. See, freedom of speech is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Until you're faced with you're not allowed to do freedom of speech. Then you may have a difference of opinion on the matter, I think. Anyway, my friends, hope you enjoyed this one. You take care, you be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.